Hello everybody, this is Jen and welcome to my part 2 of the episode 1 of my reviews. So what we're doing is comparing the World of Tanks to War on the Ground Forces. So if you want to try either of those games, then I tell you what is good about this game, what is bad about this game, and so on and so on. So we've done World of Tanks, so now we move on to War on the Ground Forces. First three things you need to know: the game is made by Genie Entertainment, which is a Russian developer, not Belarusian, it is proper Russian developer. And the game has been around for a while, apart from Ground Forces. On the Ground Forces have been around since last year, which is 2014, yes, 2014. So let me get into detail, and before I get to it, mind this is still game in progress. The game is still in open beta, so it's not full release yet. Okay, that's all I need to say, and keep that in mind while I go through the positives and negatives. So first we gotta kick over the positives. The graphics and the optimization is better than World of Tanks. You know, that is fairly obvious, because yeah, I've tried World of Tanks, you know, it is butterly smooth on my graphics card, but you know, I go on War Thunder and I can also go on the even better graphics and still get more fucking FPS than in World of Tanks, you know. Well, war game and get it fucking sorted. So many people have been complaining about it for years and you still didn't give it to them. Great environments, you know. The environments are way more realistic, because you actually there are two types of maps at the moment. There's a mixture of urban area and the woodland area. Mainly it's open field, and it's a woodland area, and the woodlands areas are fucking outstanding. Now they're a lot better than World of Tanks. Realistic combat. Oh god, you don't really have to have. You don't have the pesky HP bar, and you know, and that sort of stuff, and damage based killing. You know, all what matters is where you shoot and how big your caliber is and what shells you're firing at. You have to take it all into consideration. So for example, let's say I am in the IS-2, which is a famous tank. Okay, so plenty of people will know who've played that sort of games. And let's say I shoot here because I'm on 100mm. So I shoot here, and I have 3 people which are gonna die. You know, and the tank can run. So you haven't got HB bar. It all depends on what modules you damage, what crew you kill, you know, what sort of gun you have. So for example, 122, this gun fucking blows everything up in its way, but you know, it doesn't have that good range, etc. Historical tanks are great, particularly these two, the Tiger and the Panther. And why? Because they don't face much higher tiers. For example, Tiger H, it faces IS-1s. You know, this Panther, for example, faces Russian T-34-85s, you know, because they're comparable. And that's all. You know, they're great tanks. The Panther has rather edgy armor for the tier 4, but it's gun piercer for absolutely everything. And then Tiger 1 has less armor penetration, but the bigger caliber blows everything up, and the armor is actually decent for a tier 3. It only depends on how you use it, unlike World of Tanks where you get killed like this in a Tiger tank. Tanks feel like tanks, unlike World of Tanks. What do I mean by that? When you drive a Tiger, you know, you see how big that machine would be. You drive a Tiger 2, Jesus Christ, that machine's a lot bigger. This one's massive. You think straight in your head. And then they release mouse as well in the next update, so you don't want to know how big that shit will be. You know, so tanks feel like tanks. They're sluggish. They move slower. The turrets move slower. They don't move around like fucking cars, like for example the E75 in the World of Tanks. You know, it doesn't feel like that. X-ray armor inside in the game. World of Tanks has that application. It's called Tank Inspector. War Fund has got it in the game. You know, you press that armor viewing mode, and you can see, never minding the thickness and effective thickness of the armor, but also you can adjust it however you want, like this. So you, for example, if you want to get involved in diamond shape sloping, then you want to get a perfect slope so your sides are impenetrable, yet on the frontal armor gets really effective thickness. You know, the roll homogeneous armor, you know, I can't say about that, but it's way more realistic. As you can see, the thickness of the tracks as well, and the wheels, for example. You can have thickness of absolutely everything. And also, which is more interesting, the tracks actually add on to a damage. So around here, this thing would be around 110mm effective, and so is here 110mm about. So, you know, there may be 120, I don't know. But as you can see, this is 30mm and this thing's 80mm. So that's how it works. And in the X-ray viewing mode gives you an idea of where the ammunition is, what sort of components the tank has, the fuel tanks, radiators, the engine, ammunition, transmission, and the crew members, etc. You know, so you know where to aim at. Better source of information in the World of Tanks, because this game's a whole lot more realistic. You know, for example, Target 2's lower plate in World of Tanks gives you an idea of the lower plate has been shit, but in reality you have a look in here. It's impenetrable. Unless I was really up like this, then nobody has penetrated through here yet. Absolutely nobody. It's been around that thickness. Absolutely nobody penetrated through I've seen so far. They usually penetrate through here, the turret. Less money grabbing. You don't have stuff like premium shells. They don't force it up to you to actually buy gold, unlike the World of Tanks does. You know, so it'll be, you don't have that sort of idea. Because for example in here, as you can see, you go on modifications, and then you have usually four different types of shells. You have the HE shells, the heat shells, the armor piercing composite rigid, and the AP standard AP shells. And there's really. So for example, you use APCR shells, and those APCR shells have really outstanding penetration, but they don't do much damage. And heat shells have decent penetration, they remain over the distance. And then AP shells are the most ones you'll probably use, because they have still very good penetration, yet they do very good damage. No made up tanks. There's only one made up tank yet, and this is this one. Because although there were no prototypes or anything for this tank, but you know, that is mainly made up by the Genie Entertainment, and the reason being was to fill up the tank texture, because they didn't know where to finish at. And only recently they brought up idea of bringing the mouse in the game. So, but this, you know, what World of Tanks has a lot more tanks that are made up. It's pointless, you know, it's pointless. Because the fact is, that's what probably tank would be brought if the World War II didn't come to an end in May 1945 for Europe anyway. That's how Target 2 would be upgraded. It would be better. It would have a better gun and also better engine as well. Choice of arcade, realistic, and simulator combat. So we'll The realistic is the most common one for me, because arcade is just piece of piss. Realistic battles is a borderline, and the simulator is really fucking realistic. Simulator is where you basically go and do stuff. So I'll allow you have a look on arcade battles first of all. And you can see 3 pussies. Oh, there's a target 2. Oh, you got fucked up. And nobody from my team even captured the fucking A. Pussies. Absolute pussies. Okay, so look. Bang. I shot him perfectly on the spot. Is way too simple than it should have been. But yeah, I'm gonna get fucked by the ice too, aren't I? Oh, I didn't even see the guy. See, look at this. This is another thing. Yeah, I'm pretty much getting bum raped. But when I was shooting the guys, wasn't that way too simple, eh? I had the guy in the distance of 700 meters on one shot, perfectly in a spot, and I'm about to get killed. War Thunder, you're hurting me. And now you can have a look on realistic battle. You don't have that pesky HP bar. Your killing really depends on your knowledge of the tanks. So you will spend a lot of time in the hangar or the garage looking through the X-ray vision on different tanks. That's what I did. I found plenty of weak spots, and I just know where they are roughly, just to blow the fuck out of the other players. Get frustrated, just turn around and you get them done in one shot. Yeah, the fucking KV2. His shell's mental. Has high penetration as well, this thing does. And finally, a simulator battle. Fuck's sake, I'll put it down a bit. This gun really have very high velocity. So I'm no veteran in the simulator. There are people who are way better than I am. There you are, you little shit. Where's he to? Oh, there you are. Oh, it was close. Yeah, I'm gonna get you, you absolute motherfucker. Ow! What? What the fuck was this shit? I have not missed him. I have not missed him. And I've lost full fucking time. So you see what I mean? You have the choice of these 3. And the best thing is that the tank, the simulator and the realistic battles, you can take on the planes as well. So for example, you never know if you're playing the tier 2 tank, then you might get dive bombed by this thing. For example, you get straight from the air, bang, you're blown up and this thing goes up. You know, it's like that. Arcade has got sort of streaks type like in Call of Duty, and that's why I think it's just too easy. It's not really fun, is it? You know, and that brings me to a negative point, the very first one, which arcade mode is way too simple because of that crosshair. The crosshair basically gives you an idea of where to aim, and it's just way too simple, you know. Then, as you can see, it's not for arcade enthusiasts. Arcade is definitely World of Tanks big positive, which is a negative point for War Thunder Ground Forces. Less content than World of Tanks. No shit. World of Tanks has been around for years. This thing has been around only since last year. So, you know, it's obvious they will have less content. But have a look at the planes, okay? Planes are filled. That's because they have been around for around this probably Same time when World of Tanks was in the full release, I think, something like that, maybe earlier on. But you know, it's a lot better. And then you get on you have a look on the tanks. Tanks much shorter, as you can see here. There aren't too many tanks available. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines can go through. They're not really that filled as World of Tanks. Useless clan feature. Now, yes, clan feature is pretty fucking useless. Most of the players aren't in the clan at all, you know. So that's why I made an idea of do what World of Tanks did, is make a website where you can find different clans, and if they're recruiting or not, you can find which one you like, and then you pick the better one, the one that you actually like, so you can apply then. That's what I think War Thunder should do. But War Thunder did say they're gonna work on it when they release ships, and the ships and planes and tanks are all gonna be in one game, unlike World of Tanks where you have that and that, you know. Because for example, World of Tanks is still a decent game, World of Warplanes is fucking shit or moderate at best, and we don't know about World of Warships. I have not got a clue how that will get on. Maybe they will learn the lesson from World of Warplanes, maybe they will not, I don't know. But I have a much bigger I basically think that War Thunder has much better future than World of Warships. Long XP for tier 5, mainly for tanks anyway. Do you know why? Let's have a look. So let's say I've gone through here all of the tier mainly heavy tanks, and I'm now looking forward to get that one. Okay, what it says, you need to purchase 3 more vehicles of rank 4. Okay, so out of these 2, and I ended up getting a Panther. I'm researching Panther G, and that means I have to go through Jagdpanzer 4, Panzer 470, Jagdpanther and Ferdinand just to get this. Well, that has got to be very long XP, and never mind in that, the price on the thing is fucking mental. It's got to take me ages to get that money. You know, that is a bit of, it's a bit of money grab in there, unless you're really desperate and you'll play fucking 10 hours a day or so, and then you'll get that fairly quickly. But apart from that, no, not really. Spawns at some maps are pathetic. There are 3 words that come to my mind when I say this: White Rock Fortress. Now this is a map in the game. Maybe allow me have a look. I can't on here because I don't know where to. But anyway, the spawns are just pathetic. I spawned on top of a wall. I spawned on top of a rock. I spawned inside a wall. What the fuck, you know? And then also there are times where that team is much closer to the base than the other one. So for example, you get one, the other team gets the other one, and there's one that is supposed to be in the middle but is actually closer to the other team gets it, you're fucked. You know, it happened plenty of times. It's so fucking frustrating. Okay, plenty of bugs, glitches and FPS drops. Yeah, I ain't kidding. When the ground forces have been released, this had so many fucking bugs and glitches, right? So I did play closed beta for a short while, and you know, it was pretty still filled with bugs, but I did understand it, you know. But I thought they were fixing most of it by that time. The closed beta has been around anyway, but they didn't. And soon I found out they released an open beta, so I was not really excited about this. And all I see is just filled with bugs, glitches everywhere, and I was so pissed off I came back to World of Tanks. Yeah, I did come back to World of Tanks at that time, and then my mate told me to download the game again because they fixed a lot of these glitches. I came back, and since then I'm still on War Thunder. Yeah, this game has a lot more fucking glitches than World of Tanks, but it's still understandable. But what the Genie does, instead of trying to fix a lot of them, they add new content to make it, to compensate for their weakness, because maybe they can't fix it or they're still working on it, and instead they add tanks like mouse. They're planning to add in all the dirt, so your tank gets dirty and it just changes, you know. Or the mud, if you go in the really deep mud, for example, you'll get stuck in your target 2 or mouse or whoever heavy tank you're playing. Now these features are great, but fix your shit first, you know, just fix it. And then there's a little negative, but I personally think this skybox could get more detail. What is a skybox? In case if you don't know, that's how basically the sky looks like in a game. And I think it's sort of like 2009-ish how it looks like, even the lighting is better. So please, WoT and the Genie, please sort this out. You know, because that will upgrade the graphics a whole lot. That really will. So this brings me to an end of my review, and what grade will I get? Will I give for the WoT Underground Forces? For time being, it's a very, very strong 3 out of 5 for ground forces. You know, for planes they would be very strong 4 out of 5, but we're reviewing the ground forces. Now, don't take me wrong, because I did give World of Tanks a 4 out of 5, but that is pretty generous 4 out of 5, you know. Mainly for that money grabbing. War Thunder dropped this score mainly on the glitches and a big fail start. But they fixed a lot of stuff, but there's still plenty of stuff to fix there. Game still lacks a bit of content, you know, and quite a bit of stuff, but it compensates for it for having outstanding graphics, great tank feeling, amazing realism, and a big one, less money grabbing than World of Tanks. Now that is my own personal opinion. I would like to hear your opinion on there. Okay, so cheers guys for watching, and I will see you in next episode of Jen's Reviews.